What's good? We back with another one. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow with the Boxing Clinic triple header, Super Flyweight, coming on HBO. Carlos Corrales versus Juan Francisco Estrada. It's gonna be a great fight. Nunez making the United States debut versus Antonio Nieves, Puerto Rican, apparently a Puerto Rican and American. And then the top of the bill, let's call him Sorek, going against Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Some people had Chocolatito as their number one pound for pound fighter not too long ago. In the first match, I thought Sorek, MSG, New York City, beat Roman Gonzalez. I didn't think it was even that close. Most people made it that close, but I like Gonzalez, but I just think he's a weight class above where you needed to be that fight, in the fight with Corrales as well. He didn't just look as strong and as powerful as he did in previous weight classes. It was funny, some people was calling him to jump up again to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux, and I just think he's tapped out. I think this super flyweight is just the end for him. And if he could squeeze back down, I think that'd be good for him. But maybe, I think it's his third fight at super flyweight. Don't quote me on that. Maybe he'd grow into it. He got a new coach as well. And Sorek is a guy who won fighting the highest competition at times. But he was a guy that didn't fear Roman Gonzalez the first fight. Had no respect for him. Southpaw. Solid fighter. Just bigger and stronger. Not necessarily as more skilled than Gonzalez, even though you can make that debate. I'm not saying this by a wide margin. But he did his damn thing, man, at MSG, man. And came in and shocked the world, pretty much. Most people thought this was a gimme for Gonzalez, just for the simple fact nobody knew who Sorek was. But, getting into particulars, for the challenger this time around, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, I think it's important, for him and his new coach to form that rapport. I think that's the number one thing. They brought in a new Japanese coach for him, got rid of his old coach. And I think for him, I think it's a Japanese coach. Don't quote me on that again, but I read the article a couple months ago. But I think it's important for them to, build that quick camaraderie. I remember with Jamel Charlo, went over with Derrick James. He fought John Jackson. It didn't go smooth, Took them a couple fights to get their feet wet and to come together, and it might not still come full circle. And for Gonzalez, I think that was a bad move to switch coaches. I understand that his handlers made him do it, or recommended he do it, but I just don't see them forming that rapport that quick. But shit happens. Maybe they can, maybe they work better, maybe they work like a well-oiled machine with him. And second for him, it's confidence. Confident level. He got to be confident. He can't go in like he lost the first fight. He thought he won the first fight, I believe. You got to come in with that same mentality. Don't overhaul your changes. Don't change a whole bunch of shit. Don't need to do all that. Just make minor tweaks. And I'm going to tell you what those minor tweaks are for him. And Sorek, don't get full of yourself. Don't get too overconfident. Come in with the same confidence you came in the first bout with. Do what you did, and just don't get too out of character. I remember Frampton, Santa Cruz fight got out of character. He seemed like he knew that he wasn't gonna get a decision, and maybe for Sorek that might be on his mind that he needs a knockout similar to Frampton. I say to Sorek, just let do what you did the first fight, and if you feel that way, then try to close the show in the championship rounds. That's what Frampton should have did. Frampton should have just picked up round 13. In the rematch with Santa Cruz and did what he did. And if you felt like they was down on the scorecards, then go for the knockout. Not just go for the knockout off rip. Not to get into the strategy and the particulars. For Gonzalez, he can't go on the back foot like he did in the first fight. He was on the back foot trying to avoid a shot. Then he got caught with a left hook to the body and it hurt him. But he recovered quick. He showed the heart of a champion and kept fighting. But his biggest misstep was letting Sorek press the action, put him on his back foot, get full leverage on his punches, put Chocolatito on his back foot. And when Chocolatito was on his back foot, he didn't get full leverage on his punches, Therefore, Sorg wasn't respecting that power because he wasn't getting full leverage on the power. He was turning into a boxer. And that's something that Gonzalez can do. You know, in other weight classes, he probably was able to box on the back foot and hurt and drop some guys. But I think he's more effective going forward at this weight class. I think he needs to go to the body a little bit more to slow the Sorg kid down. Hopefully this Sorg kid been celebrating his victory more than he's been working. But I think that's very vital, you know, for Roman Gonzalez to press the attack, put this guy on the back foot. But the bad news is if Gonzalez don't go to the body, he ain't going to slow this guy down. You know, this guy showed to have a good chin just to be physically bigger. Now, this guy late in that fight was able to tame Gonzalez on the inside. When Gonzalez comes in, at first Gonzalez was getting in his ass, and then Sorg was able to counter, pick his shots, box off the back foot, use Gonzalez's aggression and counter off of it and make it to the finish line. I think if he didn't have that ability, I don't think he would have made it to the finish line. I think Gonzalez needs to, hit the body some more. Don't headhunt so much. Try to take the air out of Sorg tires. And for Sorg, it's basically just press the action. And do what you did the last fight. Then he wants to come on strong, counter him, use his aggression against him, sustain to the body like you did in the first fight. I think it was in that game plan for him to beat the boss, hit the body. And I don't think Gonzalez was aware that he was going to press the attack and beat the shit out of his body the way he did and take the air out of his tires. I don't think he didn't think that was going to be what it was. But he got to know he's moved up in competition. He got to do something else, man. Press the attack. I think that's his number one thing. Maybe box, move a little bit more ankle, stop going back towards the rope so much, move side to side. Show some of that boxing ability I know he got because he got some good feet, some good hand speed. And maybe trying to beat this guy from some angles and press the attack and kind of mix it in a little bit. But I think Sorg going to win again. I got Sorg by 10th round knockout. I think Sorg's going to get the knockout this time. It might come a little sooner than that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gonzalez won. I just think this is a weight class too deep for him, going up too much for Gonzalez. If he boxes and uses his angles and press the attack and mix that up, I think that's his best chance to win. But I just think Sorg is just going to be too confident. I think his body attack is going to be too much. I don't think Gonzalez is going to be strong enough to deal with it. And I got Sorg 10th round knockout. That's just my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it is what it is. We're going.